Well, we're back at it. We made it through the holidays, so we've got a couple nice weeks of weather. Going to be in the mid 50s here in the Ozarks. That's really strange. It should be about 30 degrees now. But I've got the west wall complete. The concrete little cap is poured. Cells are poured. Next thing to do is we're going to start digging our footings. We got one right here, one over there. We'll get those dug out today so we can hopefully get them poured this weekend, and then we go up with framing after that. I want to have a little bit of hand cleanup to do here. Dug is deep enough that we can put a little bit of gravel in the bottom, bring it up to grade. We want about a foot thick slab here. Typically be 4 by 4 feet and 1 foot thick footing. Same thing for this one over here. This is the 2 footings. So I'm going to go ahead and get these little edges cleaned up by hand. Then we'll come back in, set some forms. Then I'll fill that up all the way with gravel to the bottom. So we're only pouring 1 foot of concrete. Otherwise, these will probably take about a yard apiece. But that's what we're going to do next. I've got the forms built, and next thing I need to do is put some gravel in the bottom, bring them up to where I need the grade to be, and then get some rebar and put in it, and then we're ready to pour that farm. And I still got to put the stakes on it to keep it from moving. But this is a day, we'll call it a day today, and get back at it tomorrow. I've got the forms all set in location. They're up to grade. Next thing we need to do is just fill them up with a little bit of gravel in the bottom, bring the bottom grade up to where we need it, and then we will start setting forms on top. The gravel's in. Next step is we got to put a rebar in. Once we get that, we can set our top forms and we'll be ready for concrete. We got the rebar mats tied up and in place. Once we pour the concrete, we'll lift them up to about the center of the concrete. Next thing is put the forms in and where we're going to set our post. Well, the forms are ready. This little center section you see here formed up right here, this is going to be an elevated section. That's where my beam's going to set to carry the roof load. Same thing over here. So we're not going to do nothing tomorrow. This is supposed to be high of like 32 here and too cold for concrete. So Tuesday morning we're going to get out here and pour these and we'll get ready for framing. I got my spread footers poured yesterday, and took about half a yard of concrete each. So they're very thick, very wide, very strong. So the next thing we need to do is come through today, remove all these forms, backfill around it, get it compacted. And I don't know if you can see it up there in the end where the corner is, but we had to dig out that corner again. We need to get that backfilled too. But we got plenty of excess material here to do it. Once we get it backfilled and everything ready, we'll be pulling all this out, stockpiling it somewhere for later use. But that's what our plan is today. Of course, it's a beautiful day. It's going to be in the low to mid 60s today here. And nice day for the first day of January. Well, it's another rainy, cold day here in the Ozarks. So we're not getting much done this week. So like and subscribe, leave us a comment, and we'll see you next week.